Imagine taking a 300,000-mile Toyota pickup rust bucket, sourcing a 1999 Toyota Tacoma engine that's stock and sealed, and throwing a big turbo on it. What you get is a nearly 300 wheel horsepower rusty sleeper. And this might be one of the most strategic budget builds I've ever seen. And my question was it truly worth giving this rusty pickup a second chance at life? Let's go for a drive and find out. Nicholas.
Yes.
You just drove 7 hours for me, man.
I did.
I'm so stoked. And the reason is because you sent me an email, and this is unlike any truck I've ever been in. So I'm really excited about it because I feel like it merges everybody's work truck that they grew up with, but also like the tuner mentality a lot of people want, even if they can't afford it, right?
That's exactly what the goal was. I wanted a fun work truck that was affordable, because affordable is always key.
I just love that it's very windy outside, but that's okay because the wind is gonna go through the rust hole, so it'll be okay.
Exactly, no effect.
All right. Oh?
It's a low idle.
Okay, all right. What's the motor breakdown on this thing, man?
So this is a 99 Toyota Tacoma in an 88 Toyota pickup shell. It's a 2RZ 2.4 liter.
What's the trans?
It is an A43D, which is a non-lockup 4-speed.
So in other words, to get what you kind of want, you kind of finagle it with your foot to kind of where you want to be.
Yep, there is no torque converter lockup, so you never get full mechanical connection from engine to rear end.
You could call it a Hilux, I guess, but for the most part, I remember when you emailed me, you're like, Toyota pickup. I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot they literally called it a Toyota pickup. What's the story of it? You found this thing, right? And then what?
So I found this truck. I actually bought the transmission that came out of it that's not even being used in it.
Okay.
And responded to an ad on Craigslist. I was like, you got any other parts? He's like, I've got the shell.
Okay.
Bought it for 350 bucks.
Oh my God.
And I was gonna look for a stock engine to put in it, and a stock engine was like $1,000. And I found an entire wrecked 99 Tacoma for 500 bucks. I hopped on that. I was like, it's gonna be cheaper. I've always liked these engines, these drivetrains.
Sure.
They've been super stout. I smashed the two together.
Is the motor itself stock? Like
completely bare bone stock. 301,000 miles.
Oh my God, I just noticed that.
Yeah, so it's got over 300,000 miles, stock head bolts, stock head gasket, never been opened.
But the turbo you put on it, you basically doubled your horsepower.
Yep.
These come with what, like 96 horsepower or something like that?
The truck factory came with like 96 horsepower, carbureted. The engine comes with like 142 stock, naturally aspirated at the crank.
Okay.
And now it makes 250 wheel, and that was through the transmission that gave out on the dyno.
Okay, well at least you had that incident happen in a safe location.
Exactly.
Right?
Like, it did great. It actually drove me home after the dyno appointment.
Crazy.
But by the time I got home, it was pretty much neutral suit.
I really like it. What really drew me was your engine bay. I just found it was so unique that you're like, you know what? What's the worst that could happen? Look, it's old, right? And the steering's a little loosey-goosey, but not as bad as I expected. I thought it was gonna be like, I'm gonna have to really find these dead zones and the steering.
Nope, it's not too bad. This dash wheel, every single wire in the truck, in fact, is out of the 99 Tacoma. It's a fun truck. I really enjoy driving it, and it's my daily driver. I have beat the crap out of it, and it just keeps asking for more. You can keep your foot in it.
I'm just getting that sound. That is amazing. Like, you just can kind of let it build boost.
Yep. And yeah, right now it's at like 12 to 14 pounds depending on the air, but
oh jeez. What's the suspension? Is it factory suspension?
This is 320,000 mile factory 1988 suspension. I have not touched it. 14 pounds of boost is enough. 14's enough.
Oh no, don't stress. The factory suspension.
It's pretty bouncy. And then it's on factory tires too, which are like 185s.
Right.
They're not very big.
Yeah, but they're doing it.
They are.
They're doing the job.
It's right on the cusp of what those tires are capable of, but they keep doing it.
That's right. Are you on E85?
I'm not. This is running pump gas premium.
That's what's even in. It's 91.
91 here.
And we out in Colorado.
Yeah, so this thing made 250 wheel horse, 300 wheel torque at 5,500 feet.
Yeah. So yeah, pretty much anywhere else 300 horse probably, or near 300
Yeah.
horse.
I was talking to the dude that dynoed it, and he was saying that with this automatic and how he felt that it definitely made at least 300 to the crank. Because
Pretty
this
cool.
auto it's not a very nice auto. And also, when I made 250, 300 on that dyno pull,
Yeah.
the transmission slipped so bad that it didn't make it 20 miles home.
Oh.
Well, barely made it 20 miles home. No torque converter lockup. The torque converter is always some sort of parasitic loss. It never locks through the
It doesn't know what it wants to do half the time, so yeah,
Yep.
I get it.
And it's, 300,000 mile stock parts.
Crazy. Crazy. For somebody who's just looking for that experience, right? For the turbo and the kit and having an intercooler and learning the rules of the road of how boost works. This is
Exactly.
perfect because it's so low risk, I feel like.
It is. Total project, I'm $2,500 into it. Chassis, engine, turbo kit, tires, everything.
Oh, okay. All right, we're starting to get going. The gearing is really long because it's a 4-speed.
Yep.
But no, once you start building momentum, I was actually like, this was faster than I expected.
Everyone that's ridden in it has been putting a little bit of back because they don't realize that it actually has a little bit of get up and go.
No, it does. I mean, it's like a back half thing. You know what I mean? Like at first you're like, all right, long gearing, old transmission, all that kind of stuff. But once it starts going, you're like, oh, I get it now. I get the appeal of this because it's so rowdy when it starts. Plus, I mean, how much does this thing weigh before losing the rust panels?
So with me in it, it's 2,800 pounds. Not only that, I have blown by cops on the highway.
They're like, there's no way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It is so just out of the box to see an old Toyota pickup that are known for being slow and going 45 uphill
Sure.
to blast by you.
What should I do to get it going? Just let it go?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, here it is. Whoop! So yeah, first gear is like, what are we doing?
Yep.
And then second is like, we're going now.
So first gear is really long, and then the shifts are not very fast. But this is also a junkyard transmission that replaced the OG one, so it's a completely stock transmission out of a truck
Sure.
that had 140 horsepower.
Yeah, like, I mean, what do you expect? And that's okay.
Dash interferes with the crank windows,
What?
so I had to cut
You
that
cut
one
it?
down.
Oh
yeah.
my God. Is that, oh, I see, I
'Cause
see.
This dash is out of the Tacoma,
Right.
and they had different door panels, and yeah.
So you're like hitting your fingers on it, essentially.
Exactly. So I cut that one down so I could actually use it.
Sure.
Good. When you're going down the highway, I didn't have a fan on this thing for the first 2,000 miles. No fan whatsoever.
Oh, okay.
And so I built this thing in November. It was wintertime. I didn't need a fan for the first few months, and I just run the heater, and that was enough to keep it from overheating.
Sure. Show me what you got. 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Okay. This is like the best beginner tuner car, I feel like.
And it's awesome. This is like my first real tuner car, I'd
Sure.
call it. I had a project car before this, and like I told you, I got carried away and did the biggest regrettable thing that a lot of people say you shouldn't do, and I gutted it. That's where this thing was born, is after I got it together and it wasn't gutted and it was comfortable to drive, it was nice. It was a daily.
Right. Come on, baby, here we go. What a truck, man.
And
this is so cool. I really, really am enjoying it.
everything works except for the speakers in the factory Tacoma were in the doors. Speakers in the factory truck are in the dash, and I'm using the doors and dash that didn't have speakers. So it doesn't have speakers. The radio still works though. I've also been a Toyota guru for my entire life. I bought my first Toyota when I was 15. I've got a manual transmission sitting on my shelf that's gonna go in it. And
is it from like a Tacoma, I'm assuming?
yeah, it's from a Tacoma. So I could have used the manual transmission that came out of the original truck. You just need the bell housing from the Tacoma. I ended up using that in a different truck I've got and 5-speed swapping it.
Okay.
It's, you know, when you got a bunch of parts laying around, they end up getting used for not necessarily what they were originally intended
absolutely. Well, let me ask you this. Don't you have a YouTube channel?
I do. I've got a YouTube, Redline Ranch. I do vintage Toyota stuff and newer Toyota stuff and stuff like this.
He drove 7 hours,
I drove
and he's a
7.
nice guy, and it's a cool car, so go follow him.
I appreciate that.
No,
man.
you're very welcome. Like, this is a really unique thing, because, like, you know, whenever I ask for emails, whenever I visit cities, I'm looking for stuff like this. I'm looking for the story of, like, somebody in their backyard tinkering because they can. I feel like this is because I can. That's what it feels like.
So when you put your post out, you're like, I'm looking for something unique that I've never done, and I've been following your channel for close to a decade now.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I had never seen you do a Toyota pickup.
No.
And the only engine like this I saw you do was in Puerto Rico.
Yep.
And
that was in a Corolla.
Yeah.
That thing was crazy.
So, speaking of a Corolla with this engine, I'm building a 79 Corolla with this drivetrain.
That's gonna be sweet.
It's gonna be getting like 450, 500 wheel horse, fully built.
That's it. That's really exciting. So that gives other people stuff to look forward to, too.
It's already started on my channel. I got it running, and I'm gonna go through, that one's gonna be interesting. I wanna do all the stages. NA with a standalone, turbo, big turbo. Eventually, I was planning on putting a standalone ECU in this thing, but it just works.
Yeah,
and
enjoy it. Enjoy it. Love
enjoy
it.
your cars.
Have the discipline to stop. That's a big thing I've noticed with a lot of projects I drive, is they always want that extra pounds of boost or that extra. I'm like, it's not worth it. Just enjoy it. Well, Nick, dude, thank you.
Dude, thank you, David.
Your time.
I appreciate your time.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming all the way out, giving me this really unique experience. It's been fun to film it. It's been fun to drive it. And also your YouTube channel sounds like it's a really good time. So you should go check it out. On that note, anything else, Nick? Is that it?
I think that's it.
Well, on that note, I typically, when things don't go wrong, upload on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time, and take it easy. Goodbye.